Within the ancient walls of the crumbling cathedral, where time seemed to bleed into the very stone, lay the secret harbor of faith and shadow, a sanctuary to the forgotten whispers of the divine. It was here, beneath the flickering ancient chandeliers, that had seen the passing of epochs. The air thick with the scent of beeswax, and whispered prayers that the sacred silence of mystery unfolded its wings like an ancient scroll unraveling in the midnight breeze. The cathedral, once a beacon of hope and light, now served as the liminal space where the world outside met the unfathomable depths of the Almighty's will. Every trace of the divine, etched in the stained glass windows, told stories of saints whose very names had faded into legends, but whose spirits seemed to linger, watching, waiting. The silence of the cathedral felt alive, a solemn guardian to secrets that no mortal ear had ever dared to decode. Here, in this hallowed sanctuary, there was no cacophony of modern life, only the echo of footfalls on cold stone and the reverent murmur of souls seeking divine communion. From the corner of the dimly lit nave, the ancient lectern stood silent, a sentinel to unspoken truths. This lectern was no ordinary piece of furniture. It was the keeper of ancient scrolls written in ink that flowed from the quills of prophets, their words bearing the weight of prophecies and mysteries that transcended the mortal coil. The shadows played upon its surface, weaving intricate patterns that seemed to move with a life of their own, whispering secrets to the hidden corners of the cathedral and beyond. Among the pews, the flickering candlelight cast elongated shadows, dancing like the spirits of the departed, who watched over the living with a knowing gaze. Each candle burned with an almost sacred fervor, their flames a testament to the undying human desire to seek the divine in the darkest places. The walls, adorned with frescoes of biblical tales, seemed to come alive under the dim light, portraying the suffering, the triumphs, and the divine revelations that marked the journey of humanity through the ages. Yet amidst this tapestry of piety and devotion, there hung an air of melancholy, a silence that bespoke not of absence, but of a profound presence that chose to remain hidden. It was as if God's very breath was withheld, a divine hand covering the mouth of the universe, leaving the world to wander in the dark, questioning the silence that enveloped them. In the heart of this sanctuary, a solitary figure knelt, hidden in the shadows cast by the candle's wavering flames. This was Elira, a woman of deep faith, and an even deeper mystery, her presence a beacon of unwavering devotion in the cathedral's silence. Her hands, worn with the touch of countless prayer books, clasped together in a gesture both humble and profound. Each breath she took seemed to draw from the very essence of the universe, her heart resonating with the ancient hymns that had echoed through the ages. The silence was her companion, an intimate friend who held secrets only the most devoted could understand. Elira's mind wandered to the Chosen One, a figure shrouded in divine mystery, hidden from the world. This Chosen One was a vessel of God's will, a beacon of divine purpose in a world often clouded by confusion and doubt. But God had chosen to veil this figure, to wrap them in the folds of silence, leaving the world to seek and wonder. It was a silent torment to Elira, this divine enigma that was the Chosen One. To her, it was as if God had chosen to withdraw the light that the world so desperately needed, leaving humanity to stumble in the shadows. Yet in this silence, there was a profound lesson, an opportunity for the faithful to seek the divine in the hidden corners of their souls, to find strength in the absence of overt divine guidance. Her heart ached with the knowledge that perhaps the Chosen One's silence was not a withdrawal, but a divine strategy to awaken within humanity a deeper, more intrinsic connection to the divine. To live in the silence, to feel the absence, was to be drawn towards the ultimate source, to seek understanding in the quietude of one's spirit. Elira's eyes lifted to the heavens, a silent plea imbued with both awe and reverence. She understood that the mystery of God's silence was a profound divine gesture, a challenge to those who sought to walk the path of faith. It was a reminder that in the silence, the divine whispers could be found in the quietest corners of the soul, guiding the faithful on their spiritual journey in ways the world could never see. And so, in the cathedral, of ancient whispers and sacred silence, Elira remained a sentinel of faith, her heart alight with the divine mystery that enveloped the Chosen One, the mystery of why God was keeping the Chosen One hidden from the world. It was a mystery that held the promise of deeper revelation, a truth that would unfold in the silence in the hearts of those willing to seek. In the deepest chambers of the soul, where shadows whispered the secrets of eternal truths, there lay a mystery, profound one that thrummed with the heartbeat of a cosmic symphony. This was the mystery of your silence, where divine wisdom cloaked the Chosen One in a shroud of enigma, choosing to conceal them from the clamoring of the world. The silence was not born from mere absence. It was a profound and deliberate choice, a divine orchestration meant to safeguard the unfolding tapestry of divine purpose. The Chosen One's mission was of such magnitude that to unveil it prematurely would have unraveled the very fabric of their destiny. In quiet introspection, the Chosen One often pondered the depths of this divine silence. They felt the omnipresent weight of their role, a role that was to unfold like a sacred scroll in the annals of time. Each moment passed in seclusion was a sacred vessel, nurturing the essence of their being, allowing their spirit to mature in the divine silence. It was a preparation for the day when they would step forth not as a voice that screams, but as a beacon that shines. This hidden existence was a crucible, refining their spirit, tempering their soul with humility and understanding. The Chosen One's heart often yearned for the clamor of the world, for the joy of human connection. Yet they understood that the world's fleeting distractions could have overshadowed their true calling. The stillness allowed them to hear the whispers of the divine, to listen to the celestial harmonies that guide the cosmos. It was in this tranquil isolation that they received the subtle quill, the divine touch upon their heart, that began to inscribe the sacred text of their mission. Eons passed like a silent river, each ripple and wave carrying the Chosen One closer to the hour of revelation. They traversed through valleys of doubt, climbed peaks of hope, and dipped into the abyss of uncertainty. Within these trials, they found strength that flowed from the divine source, an inner light that illumined their path. This hidden journey was not a lonely pilgrimage. Rather, it was an intimate communion with the divine, an unfolding dialogue with the infinite. The Chosen One's mission was not one of grandiose proclamations, but of subtle, enduring influence. It wasn't about wielding power or commanding armies, but about embodying the essence of divine love and truth in a world often shrouded in confusion and conflict. In the quietude of their life, they learned to practice patience and compassion to embody the very virtues that the divine seeks to manifest in the world. And then the moment arrived, a climactic convergence where the silence was broken, not by the Chosen One's voice, but by the echo of their silent, serene presence. It was as if the world itself held its breath, a collective hush that allowed the Chosen One's influence to ripple outwards. They did not storm the world with words, but with the quiet strength of their being. They transformed lives, healed wounds, and inspired souls with the gentle touch of their divine grace. As the Chosen One walked among people, they became a living testament to the power of silence and patience. They showed that true leadership is not in the clamor of public acclaim, but in the quiet, steadfast presence of one who walks closely with the divine. They understood that sometimes the most profound revelations come not through loud declarations, but through the subtle, silent ways in which one lives their life in harmony with the divine will. The mystery of your silence had revealed the profound truth that the world's salvation often comes through the quiet, unassuming voices who walk a path less traveled. And in the end, the Chosen One's mission was fulfilled not by the magnitude of their public acclaim, but by the quiet, transformative power of their divine example. Their silence had been a sacred vessel, holding the essence of a mission that would ripple through the ages, a testament to the power found not in the loudness of proclamation, but in the serene, enduring presence of one who walks in divine harmony. Deep within the whispering folds of time, enveloped in shadows as old as creation itself, there lies a profound enigma, a quiet, unfathomable mystery that has enshrouded the Chosen One. This enigma, this ineffable silence, speaks not of absence, but of deep, deliberate purpose. In the silence of the night, as the stars trembled with untold stories, Gabriel the Chosen One walked a path strewn with the echoes of unseen whispers and the heartbeats of destiny. His journey, though cloaked in the enigma of silence, was a pilgrimage of profound significance. Gabriel was not just a man, though he bore the flesh that all men do. He was a vessel, a conduit for the cosmic secrets and divine truths that had lain dormant through millennia. His mission was not merely a personal quest, but a cosmic mandate, a divine calling that resonated through the fabric of the universe, beckoning all who dared to seek its meaning. His silence was a shield, a sanctuary where the winds of time could neither blow nor disturb the sacred purpose that was unfolding within his soul. For inside the stillness of his heart, a divine symphony played its silent notes, notes that resonated with the very essence of creation itself. Each breath he took, each step he took, was a silent prayer, a whisper that echoed through the corridors of eternity. It was said that when the Chosen One walked among the people, his presence was a calming balm to troubled souls, an unspoken promise of hope and redemption. His silence spoke volumes. It was the voice of the universe, a silent hymn to the ineffable beauty of the divine. People felt in their souls that he was destined for a purpose that transcended their understanding, a purpose that would one day alter the course of history itself. This secrecy was not born of pride or fear, but of a profound humility before the magnitude of his mission. It was a cosmic secret that only the heavens knew, a secret that had to be safeguarded through the silence of devotion and unwavering faith. The Chosen One understood that his mission was not simply about revelation, but about transformation. To reveal too soon, to proclaim too loudly, would risk diluting the sacred purpose that he was set on unraveling. Each day, Gabriel would retreat to the sacred groves, to the hidden valleys where the whispers of the ancients could still be heard. Here he would commune with the divine, absorbing the wisdom of ages, the secrets of the cosmos, and the mysteries of the human soul. For it was in these sacred spaces that the silence of the Chosen One was most profound, most sacred. It was here that he found the strength to carry the weight of his mission, the fortitude to endure the silence that would envelop him for years to come. Gabriel's mission was a tapestry woven with threads of grace and mystery. He was to be a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness, a symbol of hope in a time of despair. His task was not to reveal all at once, but to unfold the divine plan, gradually, piece by piece, ensuring that each revelation would resonate with the hearts of the people and transform their souls. As the ages passed, whispers of the Chosen One's presence spread like ripples across a tranquil lake. The elders spoke of a time when silence would give way to the unveiling of great truths, when the world would witness the return of the one destined to bring forth a new era of enlightenment and peace. But until that time came, the Chosen One remained hidden, his silence a testament to the patience and wisdom that his divine mission required. In the depths of his heart, Gabriel knew that his silence was not a failure, but a divine necessity. It was through this silence that he grew, that he learned, that he perfected his mission. The world would not be ready for everything all at once. It would need the light of his presence to shine in measured intervals, allowing it to absorb and transform with each revelation. The silence was a crucible, a furnace that refined his spirit, that forged him into the instrument of divine purpose he was destined to become. And so the Chosen One walked his path, his heart a quiet sanctuary, holding the profound mysteries of the divine. His silence, while cloaked in enigma, was a powerful declaration of faith, a silent witness to the unfolding of the divine plan. And as the stars continued to twinkle in the eternal night, the world remained patiently waiting. The mystery of his silence deepening the mystery of the divine unfolding until the time was finally ripe for the Chosen One to unveil his sacred mission to the world. Deep within the echoing silence of the ancient temple, the Chosen One stood an effigy of divine purpose, wrapped in the enigma of unuttered silence. The air was thick with the incense of antiquity, its tendrils wrapping around the sacred relics that had witnessed the passage of countless generations. Though the Chosen One's visage remained veiled in mystery, a palpable aura of destiny emanated from the hallowed chamber, resonating through the world beyond the temple's crumbling walls. In the stillness, the Chosen One's heart beat in unison with the celestial rhythms that governed the universe. Each beat was a silent proclamation of the burden carried within their soul, a mission entrusted by the divine, yet shrouded in the enigmatic purpose of God's unfathomably grand design. The Chosen One could feel the weight of millennia pressing upon their shoulders, an unseen force that commanded both reverence and trepidation. The temple echoed with whispered legends of those who had come before individuals whose paths had been marked by divine selection. They had been called to undertake perilous quests to confront the darkest shadows of human sin and ultimately to illuminate the world with the light of truth. Each figure was a testament to the inexorable march of prophecy, yet none had been so inexplicably silent about their journey as the Chosen One. In the depths of the temple, flickering candlelights traced the contours of ancient murals that spun tales of ancient prophets, their eyes forever turned towards the unseen. Each scene was meticulously detailed, the artists rendering the spectral glow of the divine upon the brows of the chosen, illuminating their path. The Chosen One gazed upon these images, feeling an echo of those ancient spirits, calling to them, urging them to step forth and fulfill their divine mandate. But why, the world wondered, why did God keep this Chosen One hidden? Why did the silence envelop the individual as a cloak of obscurity, rendering them a ghost in the ethereal corridors of destiny? The silence was not out of fear or futility, but a profound mystery, interwoven with the very fabric of divine intent. The enigma surrounding the Chosen One was an enigmatic riddle that transcended mortal comprehension. It was a silence that served as a crucible, refining the soul through the intense heat of isolation, stripping away the dross of personal desires to reveal a pure, more devoted essence. The Chosen One's mission was not for the world's immediate understanding, nor was it a task for hurried completion. It was an odyssey of spiritual ascension, an inward journey that demanded the transcendence of mundane distractions, the silencing of ego, and the quieting of every other whispering voice. This was the path that God intended for the Chosen One, a journey that would ultimately culminate in a revelation far beyond the realm of mortal curiosity. As the Chosen One stood in the temple's sanctified hush, their mind wandered through the labyrinthine corridors of memory and prophecy. Each step taken within this ancient space resonated with echoes of spiritual giants who had walked before their footsteps, a chorus of those who had glimpsed the divine and carried its weight. The Chosen One recalled the ancient teachings that spoke of a time when the world would be enveloped in darkness, where ignorance and wickedness had reached their zenith. It was at such a moment that the Chosen One would emerge not as a herald of immediate change, but as a beacon of the eternal truth that had always existed silently, waiting to rekindle the lost flame of righteousness. But what the faithful pondered was the nature of this mission. The Chosen One's mind turned to the sacred texts, the scriptures etched into the very bones of history. In those ancient words, veiled in metaphor and allegory, was a hint of the mission's essence: to mend the fractured heart of humanity, to bridge the chasm between the celestial and the earthly, to rekindle the sacred fires that had dimmed in the cold indifference of time. The Chosen One felt the weight of this mission in their bones, a call to awaken the slumbering consciousness of the world. It was a call that transcended words, resonating in the depths of every soul, stirring the spiritual slumber and awakening a sense of purpose that had long been eclipsed. The mission was about more than just actions taken. It was an internal transformation that would ripple outward, a metamorphosis that would inspire others to seek the divine within themselves. Yet in this divine solitude, the Chosen One understood that their silence was a choice a deliberate act of humility and reverence. It was a silence that respected the sacred timing of God, allowing the seeds of truth to germinate within the hearts of individuals who were not yet ready for the full revelation. This silence held the promise of future enlightenment, a beacon that would shine against the darkness when the time was just. In the sacred moments of contemplation within the temple, the chosen one felt a divine whisper, a soft, melodious hum that settled in their soul like the first notes of a celestial symphony. It spoke of unity, of the convergence of myriad souls towards a singular purpose. The chosen one's mission was to be a catalyst of this convergence, to awaken the innate divinity within each person, guiding them towards the eternal light that was but a heartbeat away, yet seemed infinitely distant. The chosen one understood that silence had its own divine language, a tongue of patience, a vessel of profound wisdom. It was through this silence that they would carry the essence of God's mission within them, an invisible thread weaving through the tapestry of time, awaiting the moment when the world would be ready to hear the unheard, to see the unseen, and to feel the unfathomable love that enveloped all creation. As the temple held its breath, the chosen one stood as a silent sentinel, a statue of patience and resolve their soul, a beacon of divine purpose, shrouded in reverent silence. And as the world outside continued its ceaseless march, unaware of the hidden figure within the temple, the chosen one prepared for the day when their silence would give way to revelation, a revelation that would illuminate the path and rekindle the sacred fires within every heart. Under the vast starlit canvas of the midnight sky, the chosen one wandered through a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, an intricate cocoon of destiny enshrouding their every footfall. This hidden figure was not an ordinary soul. They were a beacon of hope, an enigma rolled into one, a vessel through which the divine breath of the cosmos would pour out untold truths and revelations. Cloaked in the sacred aura of their silent chosen path, their mission was woven from the finest threads of divine purpose and human frailty. Perched atop the pinnacle of ancient mountains, where time seemed to suspend its march and eternity held its breath, the chosen one pondered the enigmatic silence that enveloped them. This silence was not simply the absence of sound, but a profound communion with the quiet depths within where echoes of celestial harmonies resonated. It was in these silent moments that they could hear the whispers of the divine, the silent prayers and the solemn vows that bound their soul to the ethereal threads of creation. At the heart of this mission lay a profound truth, the revelation of a hidden wisdom that had been lying dormant for ages. It was a knowledge that transcended the mundane, a secret that could alter the course of worlds, yet it was being withheld from the clamorous world beneath. The chosen one bore this within them, a sacred fire that could neither be extinguished nor hidden. It was as if the universe had entrusted them with a spark of its own essence, a spark that held the potential to illuminate the darkest corners of existence, but also the potential to burn with a consuming intensity if wielded wrongly. They moved through the hallowed, untouched realms, from the serene silence of hidden monasteries to the sacred silence of ancient, forgotten temples. Each step was both a prayer and a pilgrimage, each breath a communion with the very essence of creation. The air was thick with the scent of sacred incense, and the silence was imbued with the presence of countless souls who had walked this path before. Every stone, every ancient tree carried within it the silent wisdom of the ages, and the chosen one listened with an open heart and an attuned spirit. In these sacred places, they encountered ethereal beings that existed beyond the veil of ordinary perception, visions of angels, specters of wise sages, and the whispering spirits of those who had transcended mortal bounds. These encounters were not mere hallucinations, but profound revelations, subtle nudges towards the understanding that the chosen one must bring forth. Each vision was a piece of the greater puzzle of existence, each encounter a step closer to unlocking the mysteries that had been hidden since the dawn of time. Yet the silence surrounding the chosen one was not a choice, but a command, a divine mandate that they must remain veiled from the eyes of the world until the time was ripe. This silence was a shield protecting them from the tempestuous winds of chaos, from the prying eyes of the unworthy, and from the malevolent forces that sought to corrupt the purity of their mission. It was a silence born of the divine compassion, a mercy that ensured their strength could grow unburdened by the weight of premature revelation. The Chosen One understood that their mission was not just to reveal the hidden wisdom, but to prepare the world for its reception. It was not merely a transfer of knowledge, but a transformation of the soul, a reawakening of the ancient, forgotten truths that lay buried beneath layers of ignorance and forgetfulness. They were to be a catalyst, a spark that would ignite the spiritual awakening of humanity, guiding souls towards the divine light. As the Chosen One journeyed deeper into the sacred solitudes, they encountered an ancient sacred grove, a place where the veil between the mortal and the divine was at its thinnest. Here they stood before an ancient tree, its roots entwined with the very fabric of the earth, its leaves shimmering with a divine light. It was here that they could feel the pulsations of the cosmos, the heartbeat of the universe resonating within them. This was the altar where the Chosen One would offer their silent prayers, where they would commune with the celestial beings, and where they would prepare the final step of their mission. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the Chosen One stood at the altar, their heart overflowing with the divine purpose that had been entrusted to them. They closed their eyes, and in that sacred moment of silent communion, they felt the presence of the cosmos, the whispers of the ancient wisdom, and the promise of the divine mission that lay before them. In this moment, the Chosen One understood the true nature of their mission, to be a silent guardian of the sacred truth, a beacon of hope hidden in the shadows, waiting for the moment when the world would be ready to receive the light. And with that understanding, they embraced the silence once more, knowing that it was not a burden, but a sacred trust, a divine mandate that would one day reveal itself to the world in the most perfect and holy of moments. Thus the Chosen One continued their silent journey, a solitary figure beneath the vast, starlit expanse, carrying within them the sacred fire, the hidden wisdom, and the divine promise that would one day change the course of history. And as they moved forward, their hearts swelled with the silent anticipation of the day when the veil would finally be lifted and the world would be bathed in the light of divine revelation, guided by the silent Chosen One who had walked the path of destiny with unwavering faith and profound love. It was as if the very fabric of the world had been woven with threads of silence, whispering secrets only the chosen few could understand. As the Chosen One walked through the dusty streets, an aura of otherworldly significance seemed to cloak him. An unseen guardian of destiny that the cosmos had entrusted with a mission of unparalleled gravity. The air was thick with anticipation, each breath a silent whisper of the divine purpose unfolding before him. The Chosen One. His name, echoing through the annals of time, bore a soul imbued with the weight of countless prayers, sacrifices, and ancient prophecies. He was not merely a man, but a vessel through which the divine was destined to channel its unfathomable wisdom. The world, oblivious to his very existence, remained steeped in its mundane cycles, yet unaware of the silent revolution quietly brewing within the heart of the Chosen One. His journey began in the sacred city of Eldoria, where the ancient temples stood as sentinels bearing silent witness to the celestial symphony playing out across the heavens. It was within the hallowed halls of the Temple of Atonement that he learned the profundity of his calling. Each stone spoke of epochs long past times when the boundaries between the mortal and the divine blurred in a dance of divine manifestation. With each step taken, the Chosen One felt the invisible strings of destiny tightening. It felt as if he was not merely walking, but being carried forward by an unseen force, a silent command that resonated deep within the core of his being. There was a reason for his silence, a mystery that transcended mortal understanding. The divine council had chosen him for a mission that was both a sanctuary and a prison he was meant to remain hidden. his voice muted by divine decree. But why, the question echoed in the chambers of his heart. Why was this silence imposed? In the ancient scriptures buried deep within the catacombs of Eldoria's temple, a parable unfolded, a tale of a prophet whose voice became a beacon of hope in a time of darkness, only to be swallowed by silence when his mission was fulfilled. The chosen one was to walk a path where his voice would remain an enigma, his life a testament to the quiet strength that often lies beneath the surface of silence. As he moved deeper into the lands, the chosen one encountered towns and villages where the air seemed charged with a different kind of expectation. Eyes followed him in hushed tones, lips formed prayers in silent whispers. Yet he remained ever silent, a figure of sacred enigma who held the world in a delicate balance between the seen and the unseen. The chosen one's mission was to awaken the latent spiritual truths within humanity, truths that had once been alive but had been buried under layers of forgetfulness and neglect. His role was not to preach or proclaim, but to be a living embodiment of those truths, to shine the light of divine wisdom through his existence. He was a silent philosopher, a contemplative sage whose very silence held the power to awaken the dormant souls within the hearts of the seekers. Through the serene meadows and towering mountains, he traversed paths lined with ancient trees, their bark etched with the wisdom of ages. He often found himself sitting beneath their sprawling branches, contemplating the mysteries of existence, the silence of the cosmos, and the purpose of his hidden life. The whispers of the wind through leaves, the rustle of grass, the gentle babble of streams, all these elements seemed to compose a hymn of divine instruction that only the chosen one could comprehend. Nights found him beneath the canopy of stars, where the celestial lights seemed to cast their silent blessings upon his journey. He found solace in the cosmic symphony, where each star was a silent witness to the mysteries of the universe, and each silent twinkling was a testament to the hidden truths that the chosen one was destined to reveal in his own way. In the bustling heart of the city of Lirath, the people had long whispered of a prophet, a sage, whose wisdom would one day emerge from the shadows. The chosen one often found himself in the city's marketplace not as a seller or a customer, but as an observer, a silent sentinel of truth. He watched the interactions of the people, the rise and fall of their spirits, and the ebb and flow of their daily lives. It was within these everyday moments that the chosen one sought to sow the seeds of divine wisdom. Yet his silence was not born of apathy, but of profound understanding. He knew that to speak too soon would unravel the delicate tapestry he was meant to weave. The world was not yet ready to hear his voice, not until it had ripened in the silence, until the hearts of the people had become fertile ground for divine revelation. Thus, the chosen one continued his pilgrimage, his life a silent testament to the divine mystery that enveloped him. His silence was not a void, but a sacred space, a boundless ocean where the divine truths waited to be discovered. It was within this sacred silence that the chosen one found his true voice, a voice that would one day resound across the world, a voice that would speak not through words, but through the profound silence of a fulfilled mission. In the end, the chosen one's mission would be revealed not through grand proclamations, but through the quiet, transformative impact of a life lived in profound silence, a life that inspired countless souls to seek the divine truths hidden within the silence of their own hearts. In the shadowed corridors of an ancient temple, where the flickering candlelight danced upon the intricate carvings of divine tales, there lay the enigma of a hidden life, a life shrouded in divine mystery and profound silence. The chosen one, a figure cloaked in divine solitude, had been kept veiled from the world's eager and often skeptical eyes. Through the whispers of history, the scriptures, and the solemn murmurs of sages, the world had long awaited the revelation of this person who walked the delicate balance between divine purpose and earthly existence. Why, wondered the faithful and the curious alike, had God chosen to keep such an essence secreted away, the silence that surrounded the chosen one, was not a silence of absence, but a fullness of profound intent, a divine quietude that spoke volumes. To comprehend the mystery of the Chosen One's concealed state, one must delve into the grand tapestry of divine will, where each thread is a heartbeat of a universe bound by celestial laws. In the beginning, the mission of the Chosen One was not one that could be easily unveiled or understood by mere mortal comprehension. The world demanded visible miracles, immediate signs, and tangible proofs of divine existence. But the Chosen One's journey was ordained in the secret councils of the cosmos, where time, purpose, and divine orchestration played their intricate symphony. The Chosen One's mission was a crucible of spiritual alchemy, a process that required solitude, introspection, and a communion with the divine so deep that it transcended the mundane limitations of human understanding. The Chosen One, though unseen, was a vessel charged with the transformative power of divine wisdom, tasked to herald a new epoch of spiritual enlightenment. To be the harbinger of such monumental change, the Chosen One needed a foundation of self-awareness, spiritual purity, and an absolute fidelity to the divine mandate that was etched into their soul since the dawn of creation. As days blurred into months and seasons cycled through their eternal rhythm, the Chosen One journeyed through the wilderness of their own soul, a path strewn with both internal and external trials. The Divine Council, composed of the ancient guardians of cosmic order, watched over this sacred journey, ensuring that each step taken was not only in alignment with divine will, but also transformative in nature. In the silence of secluded valleys and the whispers of the ancient groves, the Chosen One communed with the Divine Spirit. These moments were not mere rituals, but sacred communions that bound the Chosen One closer to the essence of God. It was in these profound moments that God imparted knowledge, wisdom, and the very blueprint of the Chosen One's mission. The Chosen One learned the sacred arts of spiritual warfare against the shadows of doubt and the illusions of the material world, and emerged as a beacon of pure light, ready to illuminate the path for others. The path was fraught with challenges. The Chosen One faced the whispers of doubt, the temptations of the flesh, and the lures of the worldly allure that sought to divert them from their ordained path. Yet through each trial, the Chosen One's resolve was unyielding, for they were guided by the ineffable grace of the divine presence that was omnipresent within their soul. This divine companionship was the true testament to the Chosen One's strength and the true nature of their mission. The silence of concealment was not a cloak of obscurity, but a garment woven with the threads of divine protection and preparation. It was a divine choice to shield the Chosen One from the premature unveiling of their mission, which was not yet ripe for the world's readiness. Humanity, in its fallen state, was not always prepared to receive the full magnitude of the Chosen One's divine mandate. The sacred silence ensured that the Chosen One was not prematurely exposed to the trials, persecutions, and misunderstandings that such a revelation might have otherwise provoked. The world, eager and anxious for signs and wonders, often misinterpreted the silence surrounding the Chosen One. Some saw it as an act of divine neglect or a sign of hidden rebellion. Yet those who had the spiritual discernment knew that this silence was a part of the Chosen One's divine apprenticeship. It was a period where the Chosen One was being refined, empowered, and prepared for the moment when their light would pierce the veil of ignorance that shrouded the world. As centuries unfolded, the Chosen One's mission was finally nearing its celestial hour. The time came when the divine orchestration reached its crescendo, and the world, though still unaware, would soon witness the emergence of the Chosen One in their full glory. The Chosen One's mission would transcend the temporal and the physical, unveiling the eternal truths of the divine compassion, wisdom, and justice that had always been the cornerstone of the cosmos. In the corridors of the unseen, the Chosen One continued to wait in divine patience, ready to step forth when the world's heart and mind were prepared to embrace the new revelation. And in this profound silence, there was a promise, a promise of a dawn where the divine light of the Chosen One would illuminate the darkest corners of the earth, revealing the eternal truths that had always existed in the realm of the unseen. Thus, the enigma of the Chosen One's silence is not a mystery to be unraveled by human logic alone, but a sacred narrative of divine timing, protection, and ultimate revelation. It is a testament to the boundless wisdom of God, where the unseen becomes the harbinger of the most profound transformations in the world. Deep in the heart of a sequestered valley, where the morning light danced upon the dew-kissed petals of ancient rose bushes, lay an enigma, a mystery that had both perplexed scholars and mystified theologians for generations. Here, nestled amidst the silent whispers of the mountains and the quiet rustle of the pines, a prophecy long foretold was being kept hidden, shrouded in a veil of divine silence. The Chosen One, a soul of unparalleled purity and grace, had been set apart by the very hands that shaped the cosmos, chosen to fulfill an ancient mission that resonated with the very essence of creation itself. From the dawn of time, the heavens had watched over this mortal vessel with infinite patience and an unfathomable silence. For what was needed was not just a mortal of impeccable virtue, but one who could possess the weight of the world's burdens without ever faltering, who could embody an inner light that could pierce through the darkest of shadows, and who could wield the power of silent contemplation to reveal the hidden truths that lay beneath the veil of human understanding. In the heart of this Chosen One pulsed a secret truth, a destiny that was both magnificent and perilous. To be chosen was to be entrusted with a mission that transcended time and space, a mission that required not merely the courage of arms, but the wisdom of ages and the compassion of 1,000 lifetimes. The Chosen One was to stand as a beacon of hope, a symbol of divine grace, and a harbinger of an era where the divine silence would break with the most profound revelation. But this path was not to be walked alone, for the journey demanded the guidance of celestial beings, the whisper of angels, and the silent assurance of saints long ascended. They were to offer their unseen but ever-present counsel, their silent prayers, and their unyielding faith to ground the Chosen One in times of doubt, and to illuminate the path when shadows threatened to engulf their spirit. Angels, unseen sentinels, would glide through the fabric of existence, their ethereal forms casting no shadow, but gently guiding the Chosen One towards righteousness. As the Chosen One's journey began to unfold, it was crucial to understand that this silence was not a neglect of their destiny, but a sacred protection of the mission's essence. For it was kept hidden, not out of mystery, but out of reverence to preserve its sanctity, until the appointed time when the world was ready to receive the revelation. The Chosen One's silent journey was a parable unto itself, a testament to the power of divine patience and the majesty of divine timing. It was a reminder that within the quietude of existence lies profound meaning, and that the most significant acts are often the most understated. The Chosen One was endowed with the ability to heal, to teach, to inspire, and to lead. The knowledge they possessed ran deeper than the waters of the oldest well, and their wisdom was like a hidden treasure meant to be unveiled only when summoned by the most worthy of souls. They would not merely speak the truths of the cosmos, but live them, embodying the virtues that would ignite a spark in the hearts of others. Through silent contemplation, they would absorb the universe's knowledge, learning the ancient hymns of creation and the whispered secrets of the stars. In these quiet moments, the Chosen One would often find themselves under the starlit sky, where the constellations seemed to hum ancient songs of creation, and the night air would carry the soft murmur of the divine. In these sacred vigils, they would reach out with their pure spirit, feeling the heartbeat of the universe synchronize with their own. Their soul would expand to accommodate the vastness of divine wisdom, and their heart would overflow with compassion for all beings. Throughout the years of waiting and wandering, the Chosen One would face trials that would test the very essence of their being, moments of deep solitude where the silence would become deafening, and times of overwhelming joy where the world seemed to sing in harmony with their soul. Each trial was a step on the path towards enlightenment. Each moment, a thread woven into the fabric of their divine purpose. And then, at last, the time would come. The world, though unaware, would reach a threshold where the veil of silence could no longer be maintained. The chosen one, now wholly imbued with the knowledge and grace bestowed upon them, would emerge, their silence transformed into a powerful voice echoing through the very fabric of existence. When they finally stepped into the light, their presence would be felt not only by humanity, but by the cosmos itself, illuminating the hidden corridors of divine truth with an incandescent glow. In the final chapters of this epic journey, the Chosen One would reveal the mysteries that had remained cloaked in divine silence, shedding light upon the darkest corners of human suffering and illuminating the path to spiritual enlightenment. Their mission would be one of profound love, boundless compassion, and unwavering faith, a testament to the divine power that dwells within every soul. As their story unfolds, it will transcend the boundaries of time and space, becoming an eternal beacon for all who seek the truth, and a reminder of the silence that leads to the ultimate revelation. In the dim glow of the forgotten chapel, the walls whispered ancient secrets, each relic and stained glass pane, a testament to the countless souls who had traversed the shadowed path of faith. Here in the quiet sanctums of divine silence, the Chosen One found a quiet sanctum to ponder the mysteries laid bare before him. The air was thick with the scent of frankincense, mingling with a subtle undertone of earth and rain, a reminder of the ephemeral beauty of life, a prelude to the infinite. It was a night of spectral tranquility, where the moon hung low and heavy in the sky, casting elongated shadows that danced like phantoms upon the cobblestones. The Chosen One, cloaked in an ermine robe, sat upon a worn pew, his eyes reflecting the ethereal glow of a solitary candle. His gaze was fixed upon the cross, above a simple wooden cross that had borne witness to countless prayers, weepings, and whispered secrets. It was here that he sought clarity amidst the cacophony of doubt and destiny. Why had the heavens kept him veiled in silence, hidden from the world's prying eyes? The burden of prophecy weighed heavily upon his soul, a sacred mantle that he wore with both reverence and trepidation. The Chosen One had been blessed and cursed with the knowledge of his divine mission, a mission that demanded not only the strength of spirit, but the unwavering fortitude of the heart. The prophecies had spoken of him in hushed, reverent tones, a beacon of hope to a world teetering on the precipice of despair, a harbinger of change, an agent of divine intervention. Yet his true identity remained shrouded in the veils of anonymity, cloaked by the divine decree that the world was not yet prepared to bear witness to his coming. In the chapel's solemn embrace, the Chosen One traced a finger over the worn wood of the pew, feeling the grain as a tactile reminder of the passage of time, each tick and echo of the ages. Time was both his ally and his adversary. It would grant him the time to prepare, but it would also hasten the day of reckoning. The world outside was a mosaic of turmoil, where nations waged wars over fragmented ideologies, and humankind seemed ever closer to self-destruction. Yet within this hidden refuge, he found solace in the whispers of ancient wisdom that flowed like a river of celestial truths. The Chosen One recalled the ancient texts that had been entrusted to him in silent communion scrolls that detailed the intricate dance of divine intervention and human free will. These sacred manuscripts spoke of a world on the brink and of a Chosen One destined to guide it back to the light. But there was a deeper, more profound truth embedded within the verses. The world was not ready for his revelation. It was a truth cloaked in divine mercy and wisdom, a truth that could only be understood in moments of profound introspection. The Chosen One rose from the pew, his footsteps silent on the cold stone floor, and made his way to the chapel's altar. Here he knelt, his forehead touching the cold marble, his heart in silent communion with the divine presence that seemed to encircle him like a cocoon of divine grace. He whispered his prayers in a voice as soft as the rustling of leaves in a summer breeze. "Why, O Lord," he implored, "do you keep me hidden from the world? Why, when my heart yearns to serve your divine will, do you veil my identity in the shadows of secrecy?" In that sacred moment, he felt the universe's response as a subtle hum, an echo of infinite wisdom resonating within the depths of his being. The divine decree was not one of concealment out of fear, but out of love, a love that understood the fragile nature of humanity. The chosen one's heart swelled with a profound understanding. The world was not yet ready to embrace the full magnitude of his mission. Humanity's heart needed time to heal, time to grow in spiritual maturity, time to cleanse the stains of iniquity that marred its soul. As his prayer lingered in the sacred silence, a vision unfolded in his mind's eye, a vision of the world's many faces, each reflecting their own struggles, hopes, and dreams. He saw the children playing in the sunlit fields, the weary traveler resting by the roadside, the mother cradling her newborn, each a thread in the vast tapestry of human existence. And in that moment, he understood that his true mission was not to reveal himself, but to inspire, to guide, to illuminate the path of spiritual awakening within the hearts of the people. The chosen one rose from his knees, a newfound clarity illuminating his spirit. He would walk the world silently, an unseen beacon of hope guiding souls toward the light through acts of humility and compassion. He would be the quiet strength, the unseen hand, the whispered word that stirred the hearts of the world. And though his voice remained unheard by the masses, he would be there in the shadows and the light, a testament to the divine promise that every soul bears the potential for greatness. As dawn's first light crept through the chapel's stained glass, casting a kaleidoscope of colors upon the stone floor, the chosen one felt the weight of his mission lift, replaced by a quiet determination. He would tread the world's path, not as a prophet heralded by acclaim, but as a humble servant of the divine, a vessel of love and compassion in a world that so desperately needed it. And in that divine silence, wrapped in the shroud of anonymity, he would fulfill his sacred purpose, guiding humanity toward the light from within. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an ethereal gold that seeped into the soul of every living being, whispering secrets of celestial realms and the divine purpose that loomed like a shadow over the chosen one. This solitary figure, cloaked in the mantle of destiny, wandered the desolate plains, each step an echo of an unseen heartbeat, a rhythmic symphony that resonated through ancient bones and the very fabric of creation. Across the undulating landscape, where the earth's breath mingled with the heavens, the chosen one could sense the gravity of an unseen force, a celestial whisper that spoke not of grandeur, but of profound humility. For their mission was not one of conquest, but of revelation and redemption. The world lay shrouded in silence, bereft of the truth that the chosen one carried within their very essence, a truth so profound, so sacred, that it had been enshrouded by the Almighty's divine decree, hidden beneath the veil of divine silence. In the stillness, the chosen one paused, sensing the weight of an invisible hand upon their shoulder, a silent sentinel guarding the mystery of their silence. There was a purpose to this concealment, a mystery that transcended the temporal and reached into the eternal abyss of divine enigma. It was a paradox that God, the omniscient, the omnipotent, chose to keep this truth hidden from mortal eyes, to withhold from the world the brilliance of the chosen one's revelation. Yet in this silence, there was a purpose woven by divine hands. The silence was not of abandonment, but of intentional orchestration, a divine silence that spoke louder than 1,000 tongues. It was as if the universe itself was holding its breath, waiting, observing as this solitary figure walked the path ordained by the Creator. The chosen one was but a vessel, an earthly sojourner in a divine plan, holding within them the echoes of ancient prophecies and celestial dreams. As night descended, the sky became a tapestry of stars, each one a solitary eye peering through the cosmic veil, watching the journey of the chosen one. The moon, a silent sentinel, bathed the land in a silver glow, casting an otherworldly luminescence on the path ahead. It was under this celestial canopy that the chosen one felt the weight Of their mission, every footfall, a prayer every breath, a testament to the unseen guardians of their path. The Chosen One's heart was a vessel of whispers filled with the echoes of divine instructions and the secrets of spiritual revelations. There was an understanding that transcended words, an unspoken communion with the divine that filled their spirit with an overwhelming sense of purpose. Their mission was one of compassion, of bringing light to the shadowed corners of existence, to heal the fragmented pieces of a world that yearned for unity and truth. The Chosen One moved forward, the path stretching endlessly before them, marked not by milestones, but by moments of divine grace and spiritual awakening. Each step resonated with the profound silence of the divine, a silence that was not void, but a full house of infinite potential. It was a silence that spoke of creation's origin and its inevitable return, a silence that was the cradle of all existence, the womb from which all things emerged. In the solitude of the night, the Chosen One encountered a serene stillness, a profound peace that enveloped them like a warm embrace, a reminder of the divine promise that held their soul in the palm of its hand. Here in the silence, the Chosen One felt the gentle touch of the divine spirit, a presence that whispered reassurances and filled their heart with a boundless hope. The truth the Chosen One carried was not meant to be proclaimed to the world until the time was ripe, until the world was ready to hear the divine revelation, to embrace the sacred mission entrusted to them. It was a truth that held the power to transform, to illuminate, to heal, a truth that had to be revealed at the precise moment when the world's soul was ready to drink from the fountain of divine wisdom. In this sacred silence, the Chosen One's spirit soared like an eagle free from the constraints of time and space, soaring through the corridors of divine grace. They were a beacon of hope, a silent flame burning with the fire of divine purpose, a flame that would one day ignite the world with the brilliance of truth and compassion. And as the Chosen One continued their journey, the celestial symphony played on a chorus of divine whispers that guided them through the night, a melody that would echo eternity. They moved forward, a solitary figure in a universe filled with divine silence, a harbinger of a revelation destined to change the course of history, a silent witness to the divine plan that shaped the destiny of all creation. The Chosen One's path was shrouded in mystery, their mission wrapped in divine silence, a sacred secret held in trust until the Creator deemed it time for the world to hear the divine truth. In the quietude of the night, in the stillness of the divine presence, the Chosen One found solace, strength, and the unwavering belief that their mission, though hidden from the world, was woven into the very fabric of divine reality. Thus the Chosen One moved forward, a silent beacon of hope, a guardian of divine silence, a whisperer of celestial truths, knowing that their silence was merely a precursor to the day when the world would hear the divine revelation, when the silence would break and the Chosen One would step into the light. Their mission fulfilled their purpose, clear their heart ablaze with the glory of divine revelation. And until that day, they walked the path ordained by the Almighty, a solitary figure in a world cloaked in divine mystery, a silent witness to the divine plan that would one day transform the world. In the stillness of the hidden valley, enveloped by towering mountains and cradled by the whispering winds, there existed a secret, a mystery that transcended the ordinary folds of existence. This secret was not born of mortal intrigue, but was etched in the celestial script of divine purpose. At the core of this enigma stood the Chosen One, an unassuming figure who bore the sacred mantle of destiny, yet walked anonymously through the corridors of time. The Chosen One's path was an intricate tapestry woven with threads of divine intention and human frailty. In the silence of dawn, when the first light would caress the earth, the Chosen One would kneel in a secluded grove, bathed in the golden hue of revelation, eyes closed, heart open to the divine. Here in this sanctuary where heaven and earth seemed to merge, the Chosen One would seek communion with the infinite yearning to understand the veiled reasons behind their concealment. In these moments, The silence of the valley would amplify the whispers of the cosmos, each breath a sacrament, each heartbeat a prayer. The chosen one was acutely aware that their mission, though shrouded in mystery, was both a gift and a burden. It was a mission that required the utmost humility and fortitude, a path that demanded every atom of their being to remain unbroken, every prayer answered, every silence respected. The chosen one understood that their silence was not a result of divine neglect, but rather a profound act of divine protection. The world in its myriad complexities was not yet prepared to grasp the full magnitude of the mission, to reveal the chosen one. In this time of tumult, amidst the clamor and chaos, would risk the very essence of the mission. A mission that was to unfold in a symphony of spiritual crescendos rather than in a cacophony of premature revelation. In the realm of the sacred time flowed differently. Each day, the chosen one spent in concealment was a day of deeper spiritual alchemy, a day of refining the vessel through which divine truth would eventually resonate. This silence was a crucible forging resilience from within, turning the softest of hearts into pillars of unwavering faith. It was a silence that spoke louder than words, a silence imbued with the quiet power of divine patience. The chosen one often pondered the paradox of their purpose. They were both the harbinger of a new dawn and a hidden sentinel tasked with safeguarding the coming revelation. Their journey was a dance of shadows and light, a silent vigil in an ever-shifting world. The chosen one embraced the paradox with an unyielding spirit, knowing that their true emergence would herald a time when divine truth would not just be revealed, but felt in the very marrow of existence. The chosen one's days were filled with acts of profound simplicity, gestures of love and compassion that resonated with the unspoken call of the divine. In every encounter, in every act of kindness, in every flicker of hope, shared the chosen one embodied the silent truth that love is the ultimate revelation. It was in these moments that the essence of their mission began to quietly permeate the world, an enduring testament to the power of the unseen. As seasons changed, the valley echoed with the silent testimony of the chosen one's unwavering faith. The mountains bore witness to their silent prayers, the winds carried their whispered hopes, and the earth absorbed the quiet strength of their conviction. It was a testimony that transcended the spoken word, a hymn sung in the language of the soul. The chosen one's silence was a sacred vow, a promise to uphold the divine mystery until the world was ready. It was a vow made in the quietest corners of the heart, a vow that intertwined with the very fabric of existence.